with St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. That's the right camera, Amanda. There you go.
I got a lot going on.
I know you do. Plus, you just landed in the seat inside the studio.
Yes.
So the production studio. But you'll be back out here with us later. We've not put Amanda in the back room. Don't worry, baby is not in a corner.
Only temporarily.
She will be back. We have some great guests for you at the beginning of this show. First of all, want to welcome back from detention, Levi Moore. He's been in detention for 2 weeks. He's finally out of detention. It's heck being a young kid. What did you do wrong that you were gone for so long?
Listen, I had a lot of things that I had to handle that were conflicting, but I really missed being on the show. Okay. This is my favorite time of the week, as I've told you multiple times.
Yep.
Shh, don't tell my girlfriend. But it's my favorite time of the week, and I'm happy to be back, and I'm ready to get into it.
I could have told her that you enjoy being with Amanda and I more, but I mean, I didn't want to embarrass her, so. So no, it's good to have you back. I've been wanting to hear about the Ute vote, and so I'll get to hear about the Ute vote.
Yes,
so I'm all happy about that, and kind of very excited to catch up with you. And then we have some other stuff, but before we do that, we got to make a little bit of money. So we're going to try doing this while Amanda's in the production booth. Levi's doing his first read. This could get interesting. This could be really, really fun. All right, Epic, for over 30 years, they've been a beacon of hope for our community, providing compassionate care for those touched by substance use or mental health disorders. Whether you're a kid, teen, adult, couple, or family, Epic is here to lend a helping hand. With a range of programs tailored to meet diverse needs, Epic offers accessible solutions for everyone. From their walk-in access center to their mobile response team, from inpatient detoxification to outpatient counseling, Epic provides comprehensive care every step of the way. And their services include psychiatric evaluations, medication management, medication-assisted treatment, care coordination, peer support, suicide prevention training, parenting education, and much, much, much more. Thankfully, they did not write the much, much, much more because I would have read it all. But we love Epic. They're an amazing group and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. If you need them, give them a call. They're a fantastic resource. Amanda.
That's me. Opening their doors in 2008, Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency, has proudly stood by their customers through hurricanes, major floods, hail, and fires. Through these events, the agency has become a much-needed insurance resource in times of trouble and hardship. Honesty and integrity are the pillars of our core values, says owner Ashley Casey. We pride ourselves on being insurance experts, while developing strategies that help our clients meet their insurance needs. They truly enjoy the relationships that they have forged with you, and everyone in the office has a real love for St. Augustine, which inspires them to do their best. Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency. To you, Levi.
St. Augustine home and business owners, have you been thinking about giving your property a refresh? Let me tell you about Cleansing Power LLC. They're the one-stop shop for all your exterior cleaning needs and more. They do it all, from pressure washing and soft washing to keep your home looking spotless to paver sealing that protects your investment. Got dirty windows? They'll handle those too. Whether you're a homeowner trying to boost your curb appeal or a business owner looking to keep your storefront sharp, Cleansing Power LLC has you covered. They take on both residential and commercial projects, big or small. But wait, there's more. If you're looking for a complete transformation, Cleansing Power LLC offers interior and exterior painting services as well. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5-star reviews on Google. And while you're at it, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok for cleaning tips and inspiration. Ready to make your property shine again? Give Cleansing Power LLC a call today at 904-687-8236 or shoot them an email at cleansingpowerllc@gmail.com to schedule a free estimate. Cleansing Power LLC. Renew your property with Cleansing Power.
And the team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship that you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to service here in St. Augustine, one on State Road 16, one on State Road 312, and my favorite branch over at the beach, because I don't have to cross a bridge to get to it. You can visit their website at southstatebank.com. They are a member of the FDIC, and they're the bank of this show, which means they're going to be building a bigger vault next year, thanks to Pete Melfi and the Florida Man games. All right, so we've introduced Eli. We know Amanda's here. Let's introduce our 2 guests from the Sertoma Club. One of my all-time favorite people in the entire world, Ellen Waldon. And Bob Salgado. Welcome back, Bob.
I thought I was your favorite.
No. You don't toil endlessly on behalf of Home Again St. John's while juggling all of the other things that Ellen does.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Ellen is absolutely amazing. She's probably
Thank you.
does she get like the Member of the Year award year after year after year?
She should get Member of the Decade, actually.
I'm
Yeah.
with you.
She wears too many hats, actually. I don't know how she sleeps, or if she does.
I don't. Not really.
Yeah.
Well, when I wake up, there's usually 7 texts from her. Is why the last 3 are why didn't you reply to me? 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I'm like, why wake up at 5:20? I'll call and text you back then. So,
Sounds about
yes.
Well, thanks for having us.
We're glad to have you guys. Tell us what the Sertoma Club's up to.
Well, the Sertoma Club's up to a lot of things. You know, we continually are fundraising throughout the year to be able to provide things for our folks here in St. Augustine. We serve St. Johns County only. You got to live here to be able to reap the benefits of our organization. And we have a couple things coming up that Bob will talk to you a little bit about, and that is we have a golf tournament coming up, and then, of course, Santa is coming to town at the Sandbar out at Crescent Beach for our big fish fry that we raise money for the seniors in St. Augustine. So, Bob, you want to?
Yeah. So the first one that she's talking about, I say first, meaning the first one that's going to be happening here shortly, is our annual golf tournament that sells out every year. We have a limit of 125 folks that can play. It's $70 a person, obviously $280 for a team. It's at the Shores Country Club, and they are absolutely wonderful. They host us every year. They do a fantastic job. And the sponsor that we have, it's St. Augustine Sertoma Club, but it's for the Phil Genevar sponsorship that we give for trade schools. And what's the name of the trade school that we?
It's out there at the technical school.
Yeah, that's the technical school. That's it. And so, as you probably know, Phil Genevar was a big philanthropist here. His entire family goes way back, so far back to, I think his grandfather actually built. I'm not sure. I never found out if this is true, but I heard that his grandfather built Harry's.
I thought you were going to tell me he built the Castillo.
He built a lot of things, actually. But he built, I'm pretty sure he built Harry's restaurant, that house, turn of the century house, after coming back from the Civil War, walked back from Virginia.
He walked
Crazy,
back
right?
from
Yeah.
Virginia.
They said, war's over, go home. It took him, Phil said, 4 months to get back to St.
That's
Augustine.
pretty remarkable.
Isn't that crazy?
And there are probably a lot of people on the road.
Yeah.
The farther south you went, the less people there were.
Yeah.
Not like now. The farther south you go, the more people there are.
So, you know, Phil was, he owned Dixie Custom for many,
Yep.
many years. So what we did was we sponsor a scholarship fund, the Phil Genevar Scholarship Fund, so that folks can learn how to work on cars and things like that. So mechanics, out at the VOTEC. And so we've been doing it now about 3 years,
3
I
years.
believe.
Yep.
That is just one of the scholarship funds that we manage. And so we're getting ready to raise money to put into that scholarship fund for January.
So this golf tournament helps us do that along with other things. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and all of us that belong to the club work for free. It's all volunteer based. Everything that we make is charity based. Everything comes from within St. Johns County and stays within St. Johns County. And so this is a tournament that allows us to be able to spend that money for the folks that are less fortunate. Just a real quick snippet of what it is that we do. A lot of people don't know who the Sertoma Club is. Sertoma is short for Service to Mankind. So when folks just like you and I fall on hard times, they need just as we say it, we give them a hand up, not a handout. And that's exactly what we do. We lift them back up and get them back to square one so they can get back to, living, right? And taking care of their families and working. So we do all kinds of things from, helping somebody with we've even repaired bikes so that they can get to work. We've helped one lady that was a domestic violence victim that unfortunately had her entire set of teeth knocked out. It was horrible. and she cut hair. And, you know, it's difficult to cut hair when you're looking in the mirror and you have no teeth, right? So we worked with Wildflower Clinic, and they are fantastic people as well. They're one of the many sister organizations that we work with.
Their dentist is now a sponsor on this show.
Oh, fantastic.
That's great.
Doesn't
She's
shock
awesome.
me.
She's
Amazing.
Fantastic. Yep.
And so they got her a new set of teeth. And now she cuts hair over at Home Again St. John's for the homeless as a thank you. So it's just I'm a little bit biased, but it's a wonderful organization, Sertoma, and we are extremely active in helping folks get back on their feet. And this golf tournament is one of the ways that we do it. You know, sponsorships or scholarships, I should say, for folks, but we also help people that need help medically, people that need help financially. You know, they're about to, the bankers are coming calling for the mortgage. We even help them with that. But the main thing about our mission, our charter, if you will, is we keep all of that within St. Johns County. So it's truly the community helping the community.
Yeah.
Right? So
Levi had questions about the Sertoma Club because you know these young kids. We forgot.
Where do I start?
I know. Where do we start? It's like, why did I come back today?
Yeah.
But you had questions about what the Sertoma Club does. Bob can answer. What other questions do you have about Sertoma? And because we talked a little bit about service clubs, but a lot of the younger people don't. Most of their news and friends are online rather than kind of like we were. We went and met people at club meetings. So
and a lot of those service clubs that you say, the national boys, if you will, they have, all these boxes that you have to check before you can even think about going to them for help. All we do is we meet every Wednesday morning at 7:30 in the morning. We'd love to have you, by the way. We meet every week, once a week, and we discuss, okay, who knows somebody that needs help? And usually it's that woman over there that's wearing all the hats, talking to all the people, and she's bringing us what we call sponsorships. And we basically, she vets them out. And as long as they're real and somebody can vouch for them, we vote on it. We take care of them sometimes that day. It's that fast. It happens within a week. Actually, it happens faster than a week. When we have an emergency sponsorship, we get to vote online, and we do the megaphone on the email and say, vote now, and this has been vetted already. Take care of that person that day. So
that's awesome.
It is awesome, and I like bragging about it because it's wonderful. It truly is.
Now, do you still meet in person, or do you meet online on Wednesday?
We do Zoom. We do meet sometimes in person, and we do have some social. We used to all the time, and we have some social meetups. Just we don't have to have a meeting. We just get together, right? Because we actually enjoy each other.
Members.
We don't drive each other crazy. Well, not always, but
in addition to helping people that are in crisis or whatever, we also do a lot of fundraising to give back to the community. So, like he was mentioning, our fish fry that we are getting ready to do in December, that raises money to fund seniors for the holidays. And then we also pick a daycare center where we take all the nursery kids and we buy Christmas, and we have Santa Claus come and read a book to the kids, and then we give them gifts. They get to come and talk to Santa and give gifts and have cookies and hot chocolate, and we do that every Christmas.
Give them toys, firefighters.
And we also contribute to Firefighters for Families, and they in turn we used to do the toy drive ourselves, but now we just collect the toys and collect money and we give it to them. And then this way it stays, they can vet them, they can check them against the other agencies that are doing that, where we don't have that capability. So, the Sertoma's done a lot of really good work in this community. We've raised $150,000 for a liver transplant for somebody that was in need. We've just done some incredible work, and I just want to mention something about what he said earlier about the lady with no teeth. She couldn't keep her job because she didn't have any teeth. So when we got her the teeth, she was homeless. And I reached out to Wildflower. We were able to partner with them. And through that partnership, the Sertoma, along with Home Again St. John's, they were able to get this lady, get her teeth. She had a job 3 days later. We got her into housing. She has since moved. And like I said, she just recently moved. She always gives back once a month. She comes and cuts hair. And she just recently moved to West Virginia. She bought her first house and she's just thriving. So with a little bit of help from Sertoma and the other organizations in the community, we were able to give her a lift up. So it's kind of a neat little story because she also, because of Wildflower, she went and spoke at the Wildflower fundraiser, and that in turn helped them raise more money for people in the community.
So if people want to sign up for the golf tournament, where do they go to sign up?
They go to the St. Augustine Shores Golf Club in the Shores. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't even think we're doing it online this year because everybody just goes to the Shores, or you can call the Shores.
Call the Shores.
And yeah, you can call them as well. But I would say, yeah, I do have the number here. 904-794-4653. That's the Shores Golf Club.
And what day?
December 7th, Saturday. Check-in is at 8 a.m. Shotgun starts promptly at 9 a.m. It is, I've done it many years myself, and I'm a hacker. It's probably the only time I play golf. But I don't, if I'm in town, I absolutely don't miss it because it's a fun day. And you play golf, right? I mean, honestly, the people that go to this are pretty fun, kind of like you.
Kind of like me.
Yeah.
But funnier.
Crazy. Yeah.
Kind of like me, but funnier.
Yeah.
So Troy Blevins would let you know, kind of like Mike Davis, but funnier and with less khaki.
That sounds like Troy.
Yes, less khaki.
I'm sorry. I think I cut you off. You were going to ask a question.
No, I wasn't. You answered all the questions I was going to ask.
Okay.
So I just had never heard of the club before, the nonprofit, but I love that you guys have such a quick turnaround with helping individuals. Yeah. That's amazing. And in a time like this where there's so much negativity in the media, it's great to have y'all on to talk about uplifting stories like the lady y'all were speaking of. And it's just really inspiring as well.
And I come from the crazy place, California. And we'll just leave it at that. And I will tell you, one of the things I absolutely love about St. Augustine is the community. It is a community that surrounds the community, embraces the community. And when somebody has a need, they're there. I mean, we gave away over $50,000 last year. And that came from people like you, right?
Wow.
That wasn't, it was people just giving for people, right? And the fish fry last year, we raised a ton, right? Didn't we?
Over $15,000.
And this is a $15 plate. And by the way, I know I'm a little biased again, but this fish fry, people talk about it for months afterwards because the fish is absolutely amazing. It's the best meal you'll ever have. You can call me and complain if I'm lying, but I'm telling you, it's the best meal you can have for $15.
That's right. Those collard greens from Johnny Barnes will really
anything
melt in
from
your
Johnny
mouth.
Barnes.
I'm
Anything
telling
from
you.
Johnny Barnes. I know.
But it's like daddle cornbread, you got cheese grits, regular grits, you got coleslaw.
Listen,
just
I'm
all
on a
kinds of good
24-hour
stuff.
fast right now. You're speaking to my tummy right now.
Yeah, fasting as well.
Jalapeno cornbread.
my
When's
goodness.
the, when's
Sounds
the fish
great.
fry? What's the date and time on the fish
That's
fry?
on December 18th at the Sandbar. Everybody knows where the Sandbar is, right?
If you're a local, you know where the sandbar
You know where the
is.
Sandbar is. And you have lots of stories that you never tell.
And you got to be careful.
Correct.
Don't sit in somebody's seat down there.
No.
Because there's certain people that have certain bar seats, and you better not get in the
100%.
wrong bar
They
seat.
are reserved.
Yeah, it might be an 85-year-old, but he will kick your rear end if you're in his seat.
I remember I almost sat in your seat, and I got
I don't think I've been to the Sandbar maybe one time in my entire
Well,
life.
you will see all kinds of people there. Steve Spurrier visits there. Ice, if you know who that is.
I don't know who Ice is. I got no idea.
Oh, Vanilla Ice. Yeah, that's right. He lives out here. He has two properties
He's in
working
Palm
on.
Coast, right?
Yeah. So the Sandbar is at 7025 A1A South, which is just south of the
206.
206 bridge. He said, almost said 312.
Yeah.
The 206 bridge.
So I have a question. Out
Yes,
of the
sir.
3 years you've had the tournament, how many times has Ellen won the golf tournament?
We've had the tournament for a lot more than 3 years, but it's the last 3 years that we've made it the Phil Genovar
Genovar,
Scholarship.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so how many years have you won, Ellen?
I haven't won any.
Have you played?
I did run a hugging booth for $5 once.
You
That
did?
was-
I
yeah.
was there for that one.
It was a very cold day, and Edison Bernie insisted that I run this booth. And so that's been several years ago.
How many millions did you raise?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Not many. But I think I made $700 though.
That's a pretty good hugging day.
That's
was
a
a
lot
good
of
day.
hugs
That's
at
a lot of
$5 a
hugs,
pop.
yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So now instead of the
But of
hugs, we
course,
have a
I
putting
got
tournament.
tips. I got tips, and
Oh,
I
I'm
got
sure
to,
you did.
I got to donate those.
So instead of the hugging, because obviously
I was
you've
much
given
younger
it
then.
up, we have a putting tournament, a contest, if you will, for $5 a shot.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
but we are looking for new young members, so we would love to have you at least pay a visit to Zoom. And it's a piece of cake. Honestly, it's a fun meeting, really. That goes from 7:30, and we are done promptly at 8:30 every Wednesday morning.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You just have time. You can get your ice bath. You can
Yeah,
recover
you know
from
about-
the ice
you know about
bath.
my
You can
morning
go to the
routines.
meeting, and then I listen. I pay attention to everything that anybody says except Amanda. I pay attention to all of it.
That
you do
tracks.
ice baths?
Yeah, cold plunge daily.
Like
I became-
Tony Roberts. or
Oh, I
Tony Robbins.
became addicted to it, man. I started doing it because I had a ACL tear and I couldn't get the inflammation out of my leg.
Yeah.
And I went and saw so many orthopedic surgeons, probably 5 different ones. And I'll give props where props are due. Dr. Grimes was the one who said, "Have you tried cold plunging?" And I was like, "I haven't, but I've heard about it." And he was like, "Try cold plunging and see if it works." And I've become addicted to it ever since.
Wow.
So every morning, 5 minutes.
Wow. They
5
do that
minutes.
for sales teams too. Where they
Little team building exercises.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
those hardcore
I can see
guys.
that. I can see that.
I guess if you don't sell something, you have to stay in for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Sell a car, you're in there for longer. I could see all that. Ellen, you also you're the executive director of Home Again St. John's, one of the many hats you wear. We've got Celebration of Lights this weekend. There's a few tickets left.
Yes, we do. We have a
So-
few tickets left. So anybody that wants to reach out to me, I can give you my cell number, which is 904-501-6497. You can just text me and I'll call you back. But yeah, we have a few more to sell. We had some people that couldn't attend that gave us back the tickets. So we would really like to sell them. It's a fun time.
5 O'Clock Shadow is one of the best bands.
They
They are
are.
fantastic.
You've been there multiple years.
I have, and Ashley and I, that's our favorite band.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, and you're one of the well-behaved people there. I've never had to escort you out, so I appreciate
But I
that.
try.
You
I do
have
try.
tried, but
Yeah.
you've just you've done a really.
I'm on the
really good
dance
job.
floor the whole time.
Well, usually it's the people that get escorted out are the ones that jump the fence. When they start jumping the fence, then you got to keep like, hey, you got to leave. No, you can't have dinner. Hey, you got
Those are your friends.
Especially the ones in the tank tops.
Yes, it's always interesting. I mean, it's very interesting the whole kind of it, but it's a great night. It's wonderful. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year for Home Again
It
St.
is.
John's. Ellen has worked her tail off, and it's like right now she's at the end of a triathlon. So she's done the swim part and the bike part, and the next couple of days she runs 26 miles. I mean, it's literally that's how hard she's going to
With
work.
a bad knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That's right.
is that? What you call Troy? A bad knee?
Oh, very
No,
good.
he told me today. He told me
Very
today
good.
that he is in crisis about what to wear because he's gained 15 pounds this year. I told him my
Well, if he
husband
shaved
was
the
going to.
beard, he could lose 8.
Well, that's true.
Bump.
Yes, he could lose 8 pounds just
So
shaving
he
Prospector
said,
Pete's beard.
I told my husband about it. My husband has been looking in his closet all day today, trying to figure out how he's going to outdo Troy for the
Impossible.
evening.
No, it's not possible. No one wears leopard pants and Jesus shoes and a bright floral jacket and a small derby hat better than Troy. No one. I'm just telling you, that's his.
He's
key.
probably going to show up in an Abe Lincoln stovetop hat.
He might. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And really, that's a good time.
But in a bright pink jacket.
Oh yes,
Yes,
of course.
Yes.
Not that he likes to be noticed.
No, not
No,
Troy. Not
no,
Troy.
not at
Not
all.
at all. No.
And that night is the night that we give out our Light of Hope Award to an individual in the community that has really put themselves out there to help others, and so we'll be honoring someone that night that we're really excited about. So, and I like Mike said, the band is great, the food is great.
Venue's phenomenal.
The menu is phenomenal. Purple Olive does the food this year. And the Rain Tree Restaurant donates all the desserts, and they've been supporters of ours for years, doing that for free. So we really appreciate them and appreciate all our sponsors. This is our biggest year for sponsors, and every single sponsor has just really stepped up. And we have some repeats, Old Town Trolleys. It's all been great. So we're really excited about it. And if you have an opportunity, please give me a call. And if you'd like to buy a couple tickets, they're $200 a piece, but that's open bar, great music, just great festivities, and it's you can wear just about anything you want, so just be festive.
We mentioned Troy. Everyone knew that. If you've around St. Augustine, we said Troy Blevins, you know that there's not a dress code, right? There's not a dress code. Pretty much knew that. So one more time, golf tournament and the fish fry, dates and times.
All right. The golf tournament, Phil Genovar Charity Golf Tournament, is on December 7th. It's at the St. Augustine Shores Golf Club. If you'd like to sign up and sign yourself up. And by the way, you can sign yourself up. We will find you a team. So that's not an issue. Trust me. The phone number over there is 904-794-4653. Check-ins at 8 a.m. Shotgun starts promptly at 9 a.m. And people always ask, and the answer is yes, because it's one of our greatest ways that we raise money. The Wagon of Joy will be there. So the Wagon of Joy is simply a big old beach wagon that we fill with lots of beverages, shall we say. I know this is a PG audience. You have,
No, it's not. It absolutely is not. It is not a PG audience. Amanda's here, so it's R-rated.
So all kinds of booze, from beer to wine to liquor and glassware, but it's always fun. And we raise thousands. To just $20 for how many tickets? 7 tickets. 7 tickets for $20. It's absolutely fantastic value. The second thing is the Sandbar Santa. That's a fish fry, and that's on December 18th. It's at the Sandbar at 7025 A1A South, just south of the
206 Bridge.
Very good, Michael.
I'm coachable. I don't have any talent, but I am coachable.
And that truly is the best $15 you will ever spend on a seafood plate, period, bar none. And it's really a lot of fun. If you know anything about the Sandbar, and by the way, it's the new and improved Sandbar. They have new patio areas there.
They bought new sand?
And we're going to be having a band there, too, I think, that's volunteering their time as well, right?
Awesome.
So, yep.
And at any of these events, at the Sandbar Fish Fry, at the Phil Genovar Charity Golf Tournament, or at home again on Saturday night, if you walk up to Ellen with $5, she will give you a hug. Tips are appreciated. You're going to get so much love this next month, Ellen. I just want you to feel the love.
I need some love. I need all that love.
You're going to get some love. Listen,
and the one last thing, too, that I didn't mention, we do have a website and we have a thrift store. So the thrift store is the second time around that helps us. It's another way that we bring in money to help the less fortunate. That's over on Old Moultrie Road, and our website is staugustinesertoma.org. Yeah.
And Amanda will get all that information in. She's absolutely amazing. We're talking, and she's typing 10 times faster than we can talk.
She might have already put it in the comments.
See?
It's already done.
See? Yeah. That's how good she is. All right, Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, as always.
Thank you all for being here.
And leave those flyers. We'll keep reading those as reads over the next couple days, and make sure that anybody that we can get there, we'll get them there.
Well, thanks for having us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, Amanda's going to transition from the production booth to her seat here in the studio with us. But meanwhile, did you learn something,
get
young
spicy.
man?
I did.
There's a test at the end of the show.
What's the
I'm
test?
just kidding.
Listen, Mike, I had to do tests all the way through college. I'm not doing tests anymore.
No more tests.
No more tests. Unless
No
it's
more
a physical fitness test, then I'm in.
You know what your mom and dad would say?
What?
Levi, life's a test.
Yeah, well,
They would.
fair.
You know they would. And they say you
fair.
better do well. All right. Amanda, you look amazing.
Am I here? Hi,
You
guys.
look
the camera's
absolutely
all
amazing.
messed up for me. I'm sorry. It's not focusing, so I'll just shrink. Hi, guys.
It'll focus. It'll autofocus. All right.
Not doing
I did not get a chance to ask you because you've been gone a couple weeks. You've been very busy at work, and we appreciate you coming in on Wednesdays.
So I gotta cut in here because he was gone 1 week.
Yeah.
You were gone the other week
Yeah.
when he was here. He
Exactly.
hasn't been gone forever. You
I haven't been gone forever. I think in the past 2 months, you've missed more shows than I have.
That's true.
Well, I'm guilty of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in 100%
just
guilty
saying.
of that. So anyway, while I wasn't here,
So what are you going to ask me?
what were you thinking? What did the youth vote went hard for Trump?
Yep,
Did you anticipate it going as hard for Donald Trump as it went?
I did.
Okay.
Just because, and I'm probably am a little biased because I spend the majority of my time on X.
Mm-hmm.
So being on X and seeing the youth of the creator community on there and how hard they were pushing for Trump,
Yeah.
I naturally predicted that it was going to be hard for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, especially young men showed up heavily for Trump.
Huge.
Huge.
It was big. It was
And-
very huge.
And typically in the past, young men have been more leaning the other direction.
Mhm.
So I think we're just at a time in our country where, like you said, over the past 12 of 16 years, it's been the Democrats that have been running our country.
Mhm.
And it's been when my generation has been growing up. And we're just tired of seeing what we've been seeing. And so I think with social media and everyone that has access to any kind of content that they want to see now and not just what mainstream media feeds them, they're able to follow some of these bigger channels on these alternative media outlets. Like, I don't know if you saw the numbers or not, but Patrick Bet-David is a huge YouTube channel, right?
Mhm.
And very Republican. They had the largest YouTube watch party in the globe for the election night.
Really.
Yeah, largest in the globe. And YouTube reported that back to them. I just found that out last week. But yeah, I mean, I just think we're seeing a shift in the culture. I don't know if you saw Trump's walkout at the UFC in New York this past weekend.
I saw the walkout at the UFC.
He brought the whole cabinet with him.
Yes.
They look like the Avengers walking out. It was great.
Well, it's funny because Jake Tapper of CNN, I guess, is offended, mad that Trump's team has been called the Avengers, right? There was no real team around Vice President Harris when she ran. And Waltz, I mean, if you
But
want
whose fault is that? That's
well,
her fault.
you might be too young to know this, but there was a superhero series. It was the Justice League
Yeah.
on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decided after a few years they needed to spice it up. They needed to have the Wonder Twins. Now,
Never heard of the Wonder Twins.
there's a reason you've never heard of the Wonder Twins. Amanda, do you remember the Wonder Twins?
Just barely, but I can't even picture him in my mind.
So for people my age and Troy's age, right, that grew up on Saturday morning cartoons, the Justice League was awesome. You had Superman, you had Batman, you had Aquaman, you had Wonder Woman, you had a few extra guests and stuff. All of a sudden, they bring these two characters that are not in the comic books anywhere.
they
the
look
Wonder Twins.
super cringe.
So the Wonder Twins, I think the girl could change into any shape of water, and the guy could change into any animal, or vice versa. I can't remember what. So it's like they had to go to an emergency. He'd change into an eagle. She would change into a water, and he'd put her in a bucket and then fly to where they had to go fight whatever the villain was. It was like the dumbest thing ever. So if you're talking about Waltz and Harris, I'm like, they were the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, that's perfect.
They were
That's
the Wonder
perfect.
Twins.
I was
No
wondering-
matter where they went,
I was wondering where you were
cringeworthy.
going with that, but
where I was
yeah,
going.
that's
It took me
perfect.
a while. Yeah, it took me a while. It was kind of a Family Guy moment on this show. We
Yeah.
went a long way to get that joke. A long way, because I had to explain it, and then I had
But
to tell it.
that's
Wait,
perfect.
they
Yeah.
have shape-shifting ability when they held hands?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
How creepy is
How
that?
very hippie.
How
I
creepy
want to
is that?
hold my adult brother's hand
No.
so I can turn into a puddle.
Yes,
That is so weird.
Bobby's got
When
it.
you break it down like that, it sounds very disturbing.
It's very gross.
And here was their saying to get their powers to work: Wonder Twins power unite.
As they were holding hands.
As they were holding hands.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know who wrote that, but it wasn't good.
That was like when I figured out that Wonder Woman's like big move is
Yes.
like nice.
Oh,
the
yeah.
chick superhero goes, no.
Well, it goes much deeper than that. There was a comedian one time. I probably watched a bunch of the old original Superman black and white series, right? And I think it was George Reeves was Superman, and he would stand there with his chest out as the guy shot fake bullets at him, right? Because they were bouncing off the Man of Steel. Then in desperation, because he couldn't kill the Man of Steel with the bullets, he'd rear back and throw the gun at him. And that's when Superman would duck. You're like, the comedian's like, he always ducked when they threw the gun, but when they fired the bullets, he was fine.
That's pretty funny.
It was just, that's the way TV was back then. So anyway, Jake Tapper gets mad about the Avengers call on all of Trump's entourage, associates, partners in this golden age of America. And he said, oh, they're more like the Legion of Doom. I'm like, you don't actually get it, right? The Legion of Doom is the only cool thing in DC.
Yeah, right.
Of all the DC comics, like, okay, maybe the Legion of Doom. All the rest of DC comics, like, maybe they're okay. They're not as cool as the Avengers, but
so he'd be correct.
Yeah, and then he doesn't understand Legion of Doom was two wrestlers in it was right as it was going from Gordon Soley to, it was like the first kind of wrestling. I can't think it was WWE or whatever it was, but the Legion of Doom was a tag team wrestlers, and those guys were just, if you go to watch the Georgia games, you see the guys with the red shoulder pads and the black spike. Yeah. That was the Legion of Doom's outfit walking into the
I think they were WWF.
Yes, thank you. I just know Gordon Soley. The golden years before it got bad. But anyway, the youth I didn't see, I saw the Christian vote though, because I follow a lot of Christian influencers, which leads you to more Christian influencer content on Instagram, and the amount of Christians saying you got to go vote. You got to go vote. You got to go vote. And if you don't know who to vote for, read the Bible. It'll tell you to vote for. A lot of the times they were not saying vote for Donald Trump.
Right.
But I'm like, I've not seen this before, right? Through the different election cycles I've been on and the social media I've been involved in, I've not seen Christians as a whole saying you have to go vote. Because Christians were another group, like young men, that's, maybe I'll vote, maybe I won't vote. So I thought that was very interesting. And of course, the biggest betrayer of all to the Democrats, the example sits right over there.
The women.
White women. The
Me?
biggest betrayer of all.
Yes.
When did your husband, Louis, tell you had to vote for Trump?
It's so annoying. Like, obviously I'm conservative, and I've always been conservative. And when I met him, he was very anti-George W. Bush. He was very not my president, libertarian. Republicans were just stodgy, moralistic people that wanted to control your private life. And he has had quite an evolution in our relationship. So it's hilarious to me that all the Democrats and all the libs are crying about, women being forced to vote for who their husbands vote for, because my husband, I've modulated to the left because of him, but not much. He's modulated way more to the right than I did to the left. And so it cracks me up, that stupid Kamala Harris ad, which is so creepy and just the worst possible advice to hide and lie about who you're voting for from your husband. Have an open conversation. If you can't justify why you're voting for who you're voting for to the person that's supposed to love you the most, then, maybe you're voting for the wrong person.
Yeah. Did you guys see what Donald Trump said today on Fox?
What did El Presidente-elect say?
I have the quote right here. I am not looking for retribution, grandstanding, or to destroy people who treated me very unfairly or even badly beyond comprehension. I am always looking to give a second and even a third chance. So he's not taking the eye for an eye method.
So I brought up something to Amanda. I think I may have talked about it on Thursday's show last week. I think one of the things Trump should do, in a spirit of unity, and there's people that I've told this to that are adamantly against this. It's a horrible idea. I think he should pardon Hunter Biden. There's no reason that Hunter deserves the pardon.
Right.
He's done things that are of a criminal nature. But the only way you can stick a finger in the eye of the left that went after you for years is to pardon somebody who's actually done something wrong and say, I'm doing this because his father, you could take the line out of the Her report if you want to. He's an older gentleman who gets confused and he may need his son, right? But to me, if he did that, it's far better for the country if he were to do that than Joe Biden were to do it.
Right.
I think Joe Biden is probably going to do it. But if I was Trump, I would have said, leave it alone. I'll take care of it. And honestly, for me, the thing that would help with unity is Joe Biden pardoning some of the J6 offenders who just walked through the Capitol, right? That had no contact with police, had no interactions, no altercations, no fighting, that are in jail or being prosecuted right now. Just say, look, we need to put this all behind us. And if they both would do that, I think there's a lot of people on both sides who would be mad about it, but I think it'd be a great moment.
Yeah.
That's just mine.
Well, they say that in negotiations, if both sides aren't a little mad, then you didn't negotiate properly. What's funny about that Trump quote is I had this flash back to the movie 300, where is it Cersei? It stands up and says, "Am I not a benevolent God?"
Yes.
Cracked me up.
Yes. Well, it's no, Josh. If they came up with that idea, they stole it from me because I told people about that idea like the next day.
Yeah.
Like we should 100% do this.
No,
So,
that was his quote after meeting with Joe and Mika.
what's that?
That's what he said
Oh, Trump.
after he met with Joe and Mika.
He said he was going to pardon Hunter. Or he said
No.
No, what I read.
Oh, what you read? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think. Look, I think Trump has an opportunity to be very magnanimous. Very few people get the opportunity to do that based on what's happened to him. If he does it correctly, he does a phenomenal job. If he does it incorrectly, it'll go off the rails for him pretty quickly, right? And there's a lot he can do, and it is a different mood in the country. This is much different than the election last time when liberals were completely shocked and completely angry. What I have said for a while, and I've always believed this, you can only go so far in anger. Anger will only take you so far. They ran out of anger about a year and a half ago, right? It had been 7 or 8 years of being angry at Trump. And then they started looking and going, well, we've thrown this at him and we've thrown this at him and we defeated him and we said this about him and that. And he just kept coming.
Yep.
He just was relentless. He is probably the most determined politician I've ever seen in my lifetime.
That's because he's not a politician.
I was about to say, are we graduating him to politician?
Well, let's say a person that ran for president. I think some of the things he's done in the second term were more political than when he ran the first or the second time.
Well, exactly. The first time when he ran and he won, he even said it on Joe Rogan. He's like, I didn't understand what all came with it, who I had to appoint for what, how many positions I had to appoint, who was the best at each job, how much stuff was going on behind closed doors I didn't know about. He wasn't prepared the first time he got there. He wasn't prepared for it. And that's like anything. Like the first time I stood up on a surfboard, I wasn't prepared for it. And then the 10th time I did it, I was able to stand up. This time around, you can see it from the day after the election. He's prepared. He went on X and started saying how he's going to change certain things. He's appointing the right people, in my opinion. I guess we'll see with that. But he's more prepared. He understands what comes with the job now.
I think there's that, but I think also as a business person, when you finally get a deal done, you expect everybody to be on the team. We now have to work together to get this deal done.
In politics,
right?
It's not like that.
And in politics, it wasn't like that. I think he fully expected, okay, I've won. All this rhetoric will go away. We'll start working for the better of the country. And I've always said Democrats missed a huge opportunity. Donald Trump was not a politician. They could have gone to him and said, hey, we want this.
Yeah.
We'll give you that. There could have been a deal-making era that would have just been amazing for the country. Not all of it would I have agreed with.
Yeah.
But Trump would have done deals with them to get other deals done, to get the majority. Like, hey, I'll give you this, but I want my border wall. Hey,
But when people in the Democratic Party aren't good at making deals, they're good at shoving their agenda down your throat and bribing people on the back end to do it. They've been doing it forever.
And they're really good at character assassination.
And they're very good at character assassination.
They're extremely good at that.
But they were just so butthurt that Trump was able to beat Hillary, that the electorate overruled their coronation of Hillary, that they just went at him both barrels blazing and they couldn't get out of their own way. Like it would have been such a further left presidency, and Trump as a politician would have been so much more left had they just not stopped stepping on their own rakes, getting in their own way. Like he wanted to get in there and work with all those politicians that he had helped get into office with his political donations. He was totally willing to work with them, and they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they died on the Trump Hill over the past 12 years.
That they have. All these news organizations that are no longer relevant, they did that to themselves. They did it to themselves.
100%.
So before the show, I kind of teased you guys in show prep that I had something that I thought was literally stepping on the rake, right? You didn't learn your lesson. So there's two things going on right now. We'll start with the easy one, which is some of these cities, LA, Boston, Chicago, we're not going to help ICE.
Yeah.
So Trump and ICE have a decision to make, right? One, they could let it go for a year or so. And what would happen is all the illegals would go to those cities.
Yeah.
New York, Eric Adams will send them an email and say, hey, I can tell you what it's like when you have a lot of illegals here and how much it costs. You really don't want this. I think they are setting themselves up for an election defeat either in 2 years or 4 years. Because if you say that now, and all those illegal aliens and all the problems that come with illegal aliens, the housing, the food, the resources that get spent on that, how it takes you away from the basics of government that you're supposed to do. Plus, not all illegal aliens are criminals, but you have an element of that. Then you also have an element that prey on them that are not citizens. All of that comes to your town when that happens. And so if you're asking for that, I don't think you're quite ready for the influx. You've let 12 million in 4 years. And if they only have 6 cities to go to, you're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And so when they're saying
2
that
million
this time,
per city.
I'm like, I don't think you can handle it. You don't have the resource. They'll be begging for federal help. Or Trump could go in and they could say, we're just going to grab as many as we can. We're going to have a confrontation. In my mind, I'm like, I take care of all the areas that say we want your help. I get rid of all the illegals there. I get rid of everybody that's a criminal. And then I look at those cities and go, we have the resources now, but you know, and the people in those cities, I think will be furious. People in Chicago are already furious at the mayor of Chicago. People in LA have started voting people out. People in San Francisco voted politicians out this time.
Turn those blue states red.
Just, you asked for it, you got it. So comments on that, what would you do if you were Trump?
Exactly what you said. I wouldn't, if someone's combating me still, like LA or something, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm going to go help the people that want help, show you that it works. And then when you come around asking for help, then maybe I'll help you. But like, there's no reason for him to focus energy on fighting them when he can just help the areas that are willing to accept help.
Build a wall, get rid of the illegals in the areas that want help. And then what you're going to see in a year and a half is a marked difference in crime in those areas. It is not going to take long to figure that out.
No, not at all.
And I'm like, I really honestly I wouldn't die on that hill if I was Trump. I'd like, okay, I can have the most impact fixing the majority of the country. If these big cities want to wallow in this, they need to wallow in a little while longer.
Well, I stand by anybody that tries to usurp the federal government's position under Donald Trump to protect the border, which is one of the absolute few responsibilities of the federal government is to protect the border, then zero federal funds should be going to that state. Zero federal funds.
I completely agree with that, right?
Yeah,
if you're a
cut
sanctuary
off.
city and you've got them and you won't
It's
let...
sedition. If you're going to be seditious against the federal government, then no money for you.
I'd make it really simple. If ICE cannot come to your jail and pick up people that have been arrested for violent crimes that are illegal aliens, you get no funding.
Yeah.
We're just going to make it that, right?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the rest of it. If ICE can't go get the criminals out of your community, we're not sending any money.
Yeah.
It will not take long. And then I think the citizens of those areas are going to say, hey, whoa. How come the rest of the country gets to be safe and we're not?
Yeah.
So they're either going to continue to leave California or they're going to vote people out in California. I don't think it'll take long at all to figure that out. And you do that without getting in trouble. So like I said, somebody else said, how do you get rid of all the illegal aliens? You tell them we're going to begin deporting. But if you self-deport and you let us know you self-deported, we will put your name on a list. You will not go to the back of the line. If we have to go find you and kick you out of the country, you're banned from the country for 10 years. You cannot ask for citizenship for 10 years. But if you voluntarily leave and you get back in line on the other side of the border, we'll hear your case.
I think voting rights should be tied to that as well. Even if we have to kick you out, then if you do manage to come back in after whatever cooling off period is allowed, then you have given up your chance to ever vote as a citizen. You can become a citizen in all other ways. You don't get to vote. If we had to kick you out, even after all of this, then you don't get a vote.
See, I put that in. I don't know if it passes, but it's a great point to argue over.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and if I'm arguing and negotiating, I'm like, I want that in the first draft.
Yeah.
it might not get all the way
Part of
there,
the deal.
but I want that in the first draft so it gives them something to be arguing.
Yeah.
Right. My biggest example, though, of Democrats not getting it and Democrats repeating the mistake that cost them the election is something to me that is so simple to fix, and it's happened in Congress. So in Delaware, Representative Sarah McBride has been elected. Representative McBride is transgender. Okay. Immediately, Nancy Mace, Republican representative from South Carolina, who is a victim of rape and abuse, has said not in the women's bathroom.
Yeah. Didn't she put forth a bill?
She has put forth a bill. She has talked to the speaker. Speaker Johnson has said, hey, we're going to abide by that. It's women in the women's bathroom. The press has run to her as though somehow she's an evil person. She has received death threats from
from Sarah McBride? Didn't Sarah McBride engage in violent rhetoric towards her?
I don't believe Sarah McBride did. I believe it was a transgender person. And I watched one video, so I don't believe that McBride has. So Democrats have jumped at this as though this is their way back into getting the public on their side. People voted in the election. They voted against this foolishness of having men in women's bathrooms. You can pretend to be whoever you want to pretend to be. Pretend to be what you want to be. But you should not be in the women's bathroom.
Correct.
Right? That's just a simple thing. So instead of the Democrats saying, you know what? Democrat men, all they had to do was roll out and go, we don't like this controversy. We wish it was handled differently. And we wish Nancy Mace up. But you know what? We're giving up a men's bathroom as close to the floor as there is. It's going to be Representative McBride's own personal bathroom. It's going to be a unisex bathroom. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
And the issue is over and done. Not Democrats. Not Democrats. They got to prove that Republicans are evil people because they want women in a women's bathroom, which the majority of people in the country agree with. And I'm like, this is the dumbest political strategy after losing an election the way they did that I can possibly imagine seeing them. I'm like, you people are morons. This is the dumbest thing you're possibly doing.
Not only that, it's a waste of time and resources, and it's something so common. I just don't understand it. I feel like it's common sense. It really baffles me. I don't know.
Here's your bathroom. So it's a unisex, but anybody can use it, right? And if that's the way it's gonna be, fine. If Democrat women want to go in there and use it, and they run into Representative McBride, fine. If Democrat men, fine. Put the sign on.
That's how a lot of Europe is.
That it is 100%.
When I'm in Europe, the 2 times I've been there, it's been unisex bathrooms.
Yeah. Now, if women want their own bathroom and men want their own bathroom, that's fine. It's a fairly simple fix, but we are going to listen to this bullshit for weeks, blaming Mace for wanting her privacy and not wanting to be attacked again. Not saying that Representative McBride would attack her, but if she's been through what she's been through, she deserves a little bit of grace.
A little bit of grace.
Yeah, just a little bit of grace.
So one of the arguments I've heard against the third bathroom is you have to put in the finances and construction costs to put in a third bathroom. So here's my thing. Women don't want mixed gendered bathrooms. Women are the ones that have been saying they want a sex segregated space. So why don't we just turn men's bathrooms into unisex bathrooms and women's bathrooms into women's bathrooms? There you go. Men aren't threatened by the fact that there's mixed genders in the bathroom. Women are. So why can't we just change the sign on the men's room to unisex and the women can have their own private space? It seems like an easy fix.
It's because it doesn't go all the way along the lines of pretending with somebody who wants to be something. It just, for me, I don't.
Why is this even a conversation? I will never understand this. This is not something the federal government should be handling.
Communism.
No, this shouldn't be a conversation. We should be worried about the fact that Ukraine is bombing Russia right now, and like, this is way more
100%.
important than whether or not you go to the damn bathroom.
Yes.
You hit the nail on the head. They don't want to be having that conversation, and so they're crying wolf about this other issue. This should be complete common sense. It wasn't an issue before this representative got elected. They're trying to rectify the issue so that there isn't an issue once this person is in the building. And so they're trying to be preemptive on this situation. But no one wants to talk about the giant elephant in the room sucking all of our money and munitions. And so we're talking about bathrooms.
I disagree with you. I think that the left rode to prominence in the 1960s and 70s on social issues. The majority of the social issues that they argued over have been resolved, right? Maybe not to 100% of their satisfaction, but they've been resolved, right? Women are treated much better in the workplace. Women's pay is much closer to what men's pay is now, on par. And in some places, it's better. Women's access to education, all these things. The segregation, racism, we elected an African-American president.
Mm-hmm.
So that has gone away. So they've run out of social issues. They're so far off the rails on trying to find a social issue.
They need a cause.
That they're like, okay, this is our cause. The majority of the people disagree with it.
Yeah.
Both from a sports standpoint and a bathroom standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people in the country disagree with them. So when they go champion this cause, people in the country just go, yeah, you didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
We just gave you a stinging defeat at the polls.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't learn anything. Instead of coming out and saying, okay, this is a new situation. Why don't we be adults and come up with a solution without yelling, screaming, and issuing death threats?
Yeah.
That would be the adult thing to do, is to figure the damn thing out.
It would be.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened with the NFL over the past couple weeks?
The dance moves are amazing this year.
I know.
I've never seen dance moves this good from the NFL.
And the NFL tried to put a petition out to ban the players from doing it.
Well, the networks kept cutting away.
By the way. It got shut down.
The networks kept cutting away. Anytime someone would start to do the Trump dance, they would cut away from the celebration dance. It's like,
so you can't honor our president-elect? It makes no sense to me.
And I wonder why these institutions are dying.
The problem is it's gone viral.
Yeah.
Right? It's at the college level. It's probably at the high school level. I haven't been to a high school game.
It is.
It is
I teach
everywhere.
a high school class, and they definitely do the Trump dance.
It's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm laughing at this. The more you try to ban it,
Oh, yeah. The cooler it's going to be.
the cooler it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the difference this time from 8 years ago.
Yep.
8 years ago, I was like, "Oh, Trump, we're gonna panic." Now people are like, "Yes, Trump," and it's and people on the left are like, "What happened? You happened. You spent 8 years of yelling and screaming that the sky was falling, and you ignored basic problems: the cost of food, the cost of gas, the cost of rent, interest rates, the fact that the world might erupt in war in several places. You ignored all of that, so you could go after one guy. You should have left him alone and fixed some of the other stuff."
100%. And quick story. So my HOA, right? They're kind of strict a little bit. They have like strict election time things where like how many signs you can have in your yard, how far it has to be from the curb, what's appropriate, yada yada. So the Karen that sits on the board of the HOA,
man.
which I never go to any meetings, by the
Shots
way.
fired.
I think HOAs are really just made for Karens that just want to sit there and like feel like they're in control.
There's dudes too.
Yeah,
What's
there is.
the- yeah, what's the
what's
Is it Darren?
There's
Is it
Todd.
Darren and
Is it
Karen?
Todd or is it Darren?
I think it's Darren and Karen.
Darren and Karen.
Darren and
Yeah,
Karen.
the
Okay.
Darrens too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, so I get home the other day from running some errands and Jordan goes, there was a lady outside the house shaking her head, taking pictures of the house. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure they're talking about the political signs that are still in the yard.
Yeah.
And so I go and I pull up my HOA book. I got it when I bought the house or whatever. I pull it out and I look and I read what it says about political signs. And it says that if the candidate loses, then you have to remove the sign.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about the winning candidate in there at all.
Okay.
It just says losing. So I don't know if that's something that they left out on accident, if it's like that on purpose. So I get a letter on Monday from my HOA about how I have to take my political signs down.
Yeah.
And so I email them back and I'm like, here's your bylaws. No, I do not have to take this political sign down.
Because he won.
And I've yet to hear back from him yet. So
Weird.
Do you know what? The people that love to enforce the rules hardly ever read the rules.
Oh, yeah.
They only read the rule of the section that they want to interpret that applies the way they want it to be.
Yeah.
I wish I had the video because it's so funny. Jordan's taking a video of her out the window and she's like taking her phone, like taking pictures and she's like shaking her head like this. And you could tell she's 100% Karen.
So Thanksgiving's going to be fun in her house. That's what I just heard.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, does Levi know that we're not going to have shows next week?
Yeah, we're off next week. We get a whole break next week.
No, I'm off again. I don't.
I know.
Goodness
Ruining
gracious.
his November.
Quickly,
Well,
are we almost done? We are almost done.
We're almost done with November. Amanda's on vacation. I've got a ton of family in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So telling my lovely wife that I will be home at 6:30 every night instead of being home at 5 so I can help with all of the family is not the best thing for us. We are working over the Christmas holidays. we're taking, we'll take the 24th, 25th, and 30th, 31st maybe off. But we'll do a year-end show. You're invited to the year-end show. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So speaking of Thanksgiving, because I know that you have a special love at Thanksgiving, I got you a gift.
No. I'm going to be in serious trouble, Levi. I'm not.
Is it a gold bar?
You think it's mean. It's not mean.
It is very good. It's cranberry. Oh, this is awesome.
It's cranberry sauce,
It's
if you look at it.
So you put the
cranberry.
slices of cranberry in it? Dude, do you like
He
cranberry
loves
on your
the-
turkey?
I only like the canberry.
Yeah.
I love the canberry.
So the one that comes in the
jelly,
can, right?
the jelly one that you
Yeah,
go,
yep.
you take the top off and you go, bop, bop,
Yep.
flop, and it just drops on the plate.
Yep,
That
yep.
is the
Now you have the
best
perfect dish
ever.
for it.
So
I
good.
love it. That is so good.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even eat turkey like that. I mean, I do like turkey, but like Thanksgiving turkey doesn't really do it for me. It's a little dry.
Yeah.
I like honey baked ham.
Yeah.
But when you put the cranberry or the canberry on the turkey,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Canberry and gravy, you mix gravy in there with it.
I'm going to cut you a couple of pieces.
I get like I'm the guy that gets everything like stirred up on the plate together.
It's essentially a stew.
Yeah, it looks like dog food. That's what I like my Thanksgiving plate to look like. And then some honey dinner rolls to the side, like the little nice honey butter dinner rolls.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am going to bring you some deep fried turkey.
okay. I'm in.
You're never going to want to eat turkey in an oven again. Deep fried turkey.
Deep fried turkey.
It is so much better.
Okay.
It's so good. I will get you some that week because I'm
Awesome.
probably cooking 3 that day.
Yeah.
So yes, Bobby, the entire week we are preempting
Yep.
the 2-week vacation that Pete and the morning crew take late in the year. But we will be here for you.
We're
during the end
resting
of the-
early so that we can be here for you during their 2-week
Yes,
break.
when they take their 2-week break, we will be on the air.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yes. Yep. All right. I have a sports question for you really quick.
Yes.
All right. Can you name for me 4 times this has happened in the NBA?
Okay.
Someone has won the scoring title.
Uh-huh.
Somebody has been named to the first team, all defensive team in the league,
Okay.
and been the MVP of the finals and won the championship.
Michael Jordan, it's got to be.
4 times.
Michael-
4 times it's
Michael
happened.
Jordan's
Can
won.
you name the 4 times?
Is it 4 different players?
Got it. 4 times it's happened.
4 times. So Michael Jordan twice.
Okay.
LeBron James once.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Larry Bird.
no.
I thought Larry Bird,
Yeah.
No.
but it was not Larry Bird. It's not LeBron James.
It's not. Will Chamberlain?
Not Chamberlain.
It was Finals MVP.
All defensive team.
All NBA first
and,
team.
Kobe?
and scoring champion.
And scoring champion.
Kobe?
It's not
Nope,
Kobe.
it's not
Kobe was
Kobe.
never on the all defensive team.
Okay.
All defensive team.
Shaq. I wanted to be
Austin
Shaq.
Robinson?
So you are the closest to get the answer right all day.
Is it Michael Jordan 4 times?
Michael Jordan 4 times. Michael Jordan 4 times. And I had this discussion with my son Reese today. And he's like, yeah, that's an amazing stat, right?
Yeah.
That Jordan was able to accomplish that. But he said, I will have to say this. He said, in the debate between Jordan and LeBron, LeBron is playing at a much older age. He's 38 years old,
39.
39, than when Jordan retired. And
Yeah.
when Jordan retired, he was not playing at the level
He was averaging like 6 points a game.
that LeBron is playing at a 39-year-old.
The NBA top player rankings for the start of the season came out of
Mhm.
where they're ranking the players. They have LeBron ranked 4.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy had before last night's game, he had 4 triple doubles in a row
Mm-hmm.
at 39 years old,
And
playing
didn't,
against a better quality of athlete than Jordan ever played against.
and didn't some kid from Tennessee hit like 6 threes in a row
Last night, Dalton Connect. By the way, I have the receipts for this.
Yeah.
I put a tweet out when they drafted him
Yeah.
and said Dalton Connect is the steal of the draft and will win Rookie of the Year. And everyone called me crazy. And now he's the front runner for Rookie of the
Was
Year.
Josh one of the people that called you crazy?
No, Josh didn't call me crazy.
Okay, John has it together.
But
yes.
Dalton Connect in back-to-back games now has scored 27 and 37, went 9 for 12 from 3 last night, and had 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
And he's 6'10".
And he's 6'10".
Yep.
And he shot, I think, 4 of the shots from the exact same spot.
Yep.
In a row. Yeah, Reese made me watch the video today.
Oh, it's great.
All right, so we will be here tomorrow. We will have the Bollocks boys in. We're going to pregame a little bit with them before the Bollocks show. Tomorrow morning, the 904 Now is on. What time does that show come on again?
7:30.
7:30. And then the afternoon show. Everyone knows about the afternoon show with
Yep.
Davey and his sidekick. I can't remember who that is.
I don't know. He wears sunglasses. I
Wears
can't
sunglasses.
recognize him.
Hard to recognize him anymore. So we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you guys.